tradition, the Prophet, peace be upon him, peacefully started a call to Islam in a city called Mecca at the age of 40. Invited people to this religion, started reciting the revelation that was coming to him. Some people accepted it, most people didn't. People got more and more offended as he continued to recite it. So there were attempts on his life. Then there were attempts on the lives of people who followed his faith. It got to the point where they couldn't live there anymore. So they had to actually secretly escape to another city, leaving behind their businesses, their homes, their families, in some cases. Some people were killed, tortured to death, while not fighting back. They make it to another city where they were welcomed. Most people did accept the faith there. A sort of conglomerate government was formed with the cooperation of Christian and Jewish communities. Medinan society was formed. And then they started preparing for battle with the city they ran away from. Now, from a political science perspective, they have every right to fight the city that expelled them because what's there? Their homes. They were kicked out of their home for no reason. They were the ones aggressed against for no crime that they committed of their own except for believing. Nobody should be oppressed for what they believe, no matter what it is. Now, this is a universal thing. It's not just an Islam thing. So they're in every right. If the United Nations was back then, they would be okay with it. They would be okay with it. Now this war starts, and it's going on, and it happens. There's several battles that take place, and eventually the Muslims win. And how do they win? They actually peacefully march into the city of Mecca with 100,000. They're overwhelmed by the numbers, and they walk in and they don't kill it. They actually pray, and everybody just drops their arms like there's too many of these guys. And then the Prophet gathers all of the enemies, all the chief enemies that were in battle just a year before, 2 years before, they were out for blood. He gathers all of them and says, I will say to you what Joseph said to his brothers. There's no harm coming on you today. Then revelation comes. This is not the Prophet talking now, it's revelation talking. Revelation comes and says, these criminals that fought you all this time, give them 4 months. Give them 4 months to think about the faith. Take them to a place that's safe so they don't feel intimidated. If they decide that they want to be Muslims, fine. If not, they better not come back, and if they do, kill them wherever you find them. But they have how much? 4 months. 4 months. And in those 4 months, if you want to leave, go ahead, pack your bags and get out of here. If you want to accept Islam, if you come to that decision yourself, you know what? You're an equal citizen. And if not, we don't take prisoners. We're not taking prisoners. But until those 4 months, you are free to do what you want. This is the specific context of that declaration. It is not a universal Muslim foreign policy.